All right, we're back for another hot seat. I'm so excited. This is Feenics, and we have Dan Cosgrove. He is going to be doing some stuff around cloud and the Feenics platform, which is an access control platform. I learned about this product through a couple guys. Mason Bortz, he's been a long time Low Voltage Nation member and leader. And then Marco Chaffiot, actually, I think he's used the product as well. And then John Laurie. You guys all know John Laurie if you're in the access control space, but we're going to be doing a demo on some of the products. Dan has a Prezi. So if you have any questions, if you're on the Facebook Live, put a comment on there on the group, or if you're in the Zoom meeting, just drop it in the Q&A and we'll get to those questions. If you're ready, Dan, I'll kick it over to you. So yeah, I appreciate you hopping on the hot seat.
Oh, good. I'm glad to be here and good to be presenting to the group that's out here with Low Voltage Nation. I'm grateful to be have the opportunity to speak about Feenics and cloud hosted access control and stuff. I'll jump right in. So as you will know, the spelling of Feenics is kind of unique, and I joke about this because the company is headquartered out of Ottawa, Canada, and I joke that the F-E-E-N-I-C-S, it's phonetically spelled. That's the Canadian spelling of Phoenix, right? I kind of joke about that, but it's Phoenix, just like Phoenix, Arizona, or more specifically, it's in reference to Greek mythology, like Phoenix rising from the ashes sort of thing. It's more of a rebirth of access control, if you will. I'm based out of Skokie, Illinois, the Chicago metropolitan area. I'm on the north side, and so I'm responsible for business development, dealer support, all those functions of sales that fall under that umbrella in the north central part of the region. So I cover 12 states. Feenics, as I say, is just started about 2010, based out of Ottawa, Canada. The gentleman that founded the company he was a security systems integrator for about 30 years out of Canada. In fact, one of his claims to fame at that time was he was the largest Linnell dealer in the whole entire country of Canada, for what that was worth. But having said that, he sold his company and in about 2008, 2009 timeframe, and that provided him the capital to launch his next endeavor, which is thus Feenics. And he had seen the evolution of cloud-based services moving to the cloud more so, and so he saw access control as being a natural next vehicle for development. And so headquarters, like I say, based out of Ottawa, Canada. We go to market through the value-added reseller channel. So we don't sell direct, we don't go through distribution, only through VARs and partners. And so that's part of my job, is to develop those partnerships out in the field. I've been doing it for several years in access control, and so I have a significant number of relationships with VARs and stuff. And so my role is to help capitalize on that. Our platform, again, this is going to be another play on words. Our platform is called Keep, right? Keep is actually a reference to the most secure part of a castle back in the days of castles, right? Keep was the most inner sanctum. And what we're referring to with our customers is their castle, their building, their security. And so that's where the name evolves from. We deliver Keep through Amazon Web Services. So we bring our platform and we bring it to market through AWS, and they are a significant partner for us. So having said that, we are a Mercury security access control OEM. We're one of 25 different access control companies that write to Mercury Security. We're all about non-proprietary building hardware, and it's all about open architecture. We promote the value in that very, very aggressively, where as a business owner, as a partner, it behooves you to do a non-proprietary system, install a non-proprietary system. It's a significant investment. It behooves you to cover yourself down the road should market change, market changes, or what happens when there's an employee change and the administrator that's been working on Keep, maybe in 5 years hence, he takes a job elsewhere, and all of a sudden a new person gets hired and they're familiar with a different platform, and a Genetec or a Linnell or an RS2 or an Open Options or something like that, a Vigilant, and they say, I'm more comfortable doing that navigation. At that point, it's nothing more than a head-end change. Very straightforward. again, I talked about Amazon Web Services, and they are a great partner of ours. Because we are promoting cloud-based access control, the cybersecurity end of it is most important to us. As a consequence, we employ the services of some outside vendors. One company that we use is called Veracode, and they're a third-party code verification company. They do static and dynamic testing of our code to ensure that what is being written is rock solid and locked down. On the heels of that, we employ the services of a company called Security Innovations, and they do the penetration testing. They try to do the backdoor, and they try to be the nefarious characters that try to get around the system itself. Why we're promoting what we're promoting as far as cloud-based access control. You guys, I'm sure you're all familiar with this, but nonetheless, it behooves addressing. Keep is always current. You're provided with the most up-to-date platform every time you log on. There's no conversation about what version are you running, which is typical for on-premise. What version you have, we don't have to have the conversation because you as an administrator, every time you log on, you're on the most current version. We have our own developers up in Ottawa, Canada, and they do the system updates, the patches, the fixes, the releases. They ensure that the system is functioning at the optimum level always, with firmware updates and stuff that tend to roll out regularly. There's redundancy and failover built into the system, and that's through AWS. Let me get into this. So the business case for our dealers, right? Here's the value for our value-added resellers. This is an automatic vehicle for generating recurring monthly revenue, all right? It's inherently, it's an RMR machine. It adds value to your company, but it's also easier for support, right? You don't have to roll a truck so quickly, right? You can do a lot of your troubleshooting without having to leave the comfort of your office or your home, wherever you might be. Having cloud-based services adds value to your company itself. It certainly creates customer stickiness. So once we have a customer on a cloud with Keep by Feenics, our retention rates of customers are in the high 90%. It's way up there. And certainly ease of deployment, it becomes almost like a plug and play sort of environment for the installation crew. The business case for our customers, our end users, all right? We're going to eliminate the whole cost of IT having to support a system. We don't have on-premise. We don't have on-premise software. We're going to eliminate the server. Essentially, what the customer is doing is offshoring it in a metaphorical way to us in Canada, right? We're handling that through our horsepower. In fact, it's not necessarily in Canada because AWS. So regardless, but you understand my point. The expenses are predictable and it's fixed because the costs for the system is based on a number of card readers, essentially, right? It's essentially based on number of card readers on the system. It's enterprise level, but it can be one or two doors just as easily, and you still have the same horsepower behind it. So for you technical folks, as far as the whiz bang behind the system itself, Mercury panels initiate communication. That's outbound communication only. It's very analogous to doing an internet search. If you sit down at your desk and you do a Google search, it's outbound communication only. You guys might appreciate this because the Mercury panels by default, they communicate via outbound communication port number 3001. All right. That's TCP, Transmission Control Protocol. And the red boards, the most current Series 2 red boards for Mercury, it's TLS 1.2 encryption. So the data is encrypted at the panel before it even leaves the premises. And essentially, the Mercury board makes the phone call to Keep by Feenics in AWS. We pick up the phone and we establish a communication in that manner, essentially, right? You have the option, the customer has the option to switch over to port 443 if they want, which is typical internet communication. But again, the default port on the Mercury boards is 3001. Through Amazon Web Services, they have got regional data centers throughout the United States. Now, an important point to our US-based customers is their data resides within the United States. So we've got regional data centers. AWS does the load balancing, the auto scaling based on the internet traffic. And so it's going to adapt seamlessly for us depending on those loads. Integration wise, we have a significant number of integrations. That's really a large part of it, the connectivity that we can handle. Excuse me, a significant deployment that we do on most installations is Active Directory integration. So that's like an Ldap thin client sort of environment. We do an awful lot with Active Directory where we create efficiencies through data entry. So you enter in your data, your users, your access levels and user groups in Active Directory, and it's going to cross-replicate into Keep. So it really creates some efficiencies in data. So you're only entering data one time. Similarly, when that employee leaves the company and their data is gone, and it suspends the credential automatically. So again, we're going to create some efficiencies by having an efficiency in data entry one time. We do integrations with video surveillance systems, several on-premise, the typical suspects as far as Milestone, Salient, Exact Vision. But more importantly, we have cloud-to-cloud integrations with OpenEye. We've got a bidirectional relationship with OpenEye in which they can see and view the access control events in the OpenEye platform as they can do similarly through Keep by Feenics. It's bidirectional there. We also have integrations in the cloud with Ava, cloud-hosted video surveillance, and Arcules, which is the Milestone, the cloud version of Milestone. And now that's single direction. That's just pushing the camera views into Keep by Feenics and not the other direction. OpenEye is the one we have bidirectional. Having said that, we'll continue on. We have integration. We can have integrations with mobile credentialing, HID or Rego. We have an integration with their platform in which you can manage the mobile credentials through Keep. All you do is set up the app on your phone one time, and then it's all managed through Keep. So you're not having to manage your mobile credentials in HID's world as well as Keep's world. We have those integrated together. The same thing with wavelengths. We have the same integration with the wavelengths mobile credential as well. We have an option to provide a licensable function here with visitor management. Allows you to get rid of your logbooks, right? And I'll show you what that looks like. You can provide credentials, have people sign in electronically, and I'll show you what that looks like in a couple of moments as we get into the demo itself. Integrations wise with wireless hardware lock sets, we work with Allegion, the Schlage NDE-LE, which is BLE, Bluetooth low energy. We have, of course, the AD400. We actually can communicate through the gateway on their control lock platform too, which is more of a lower end residential wireless app lock that communicates to the Engage gateway. One important point is that Engage gateway still is required to be RS-45 into a Mercury hardware. You know, it's not an IP gateway, so that's an important point differentiation. You still have to do RS-45, but you've got control of the lock though in that environment. And we also work with the ASA Abloy on the Aperio side, similar type of architecture where it's a hub or a receiver tied into a Mercury hardware in that environment. The user experience that our customers get them with their services, they have the ability to do single sign-on, right? And it's SAML 2.0, and we do that through Ldap, which is a cloud service that allows customers, our administrators, the same credentials that they log on to their network to get into Keep by Feenics. We provide the ability to do administration through the Windows Evergreen app, an HTML5 thin client, browser-based. Now, browsers you could use, and I'll show you what that looks like. You can use Chrome, Firefox, Safari, Microsoft. It doesn't really matter. It's all ubiquitous in that environment. And then you have also, lastly, have the ability to do administration on the fly. These functions listed right here through your smartphone. So that's a brief introduction to Keep by Feenics. From here, what I'll do is I'm gonna switch screens, and I'm going to show you what the Windows environment looks like. So bear with me a moment. So I need to find, there we go. Okay, that's what I was looking for. All right. So let me share screen 1 here. Okay. So you're looking at my Windows environment right now. And this is Keep by Feenics. This is really pretty cool. And I say it cool because I used to be on the integration side of business, and this gives you as an integrator a lot of control over your own destiny. I'm in Keep by Feenics, and right here, I'm going to left click, and what we do is we provide our VARs with their own folders so they can create and manage their own instances of Keep, their own customers. So you don't have to send a PO into our office in Ottawa, Canada to have a tech support person set up the account. You can do it yourself. And what I'm going to do is you've got your own folder, and here's my instances of Keep. If you needed to add a new instance, I'm just going to right click and I'm going to add an instance, right? I right clicked on Feenics VAR, which would be your company name, add an instance, and I populate these fields, right? We'll invoice you, but right now you can get this all set up on your own and be good to go and really create efficiencies on the setup and the installation in the field. I love this. I love this feature. Similarly, if you have, let me open up this. Let me set current instance for this one right here. If you have this license, if you want to manage the license, so typically what happens is if you're adding some card readers on, and usually this happens like 3:30 p.m. on a Friday afternoon, where you run out of card reader licenses, you say, oh man, something got missed, fell through the cracks, whatever. You have the ability to go into this instance, and you can, and what I just did was I went here, I right clicked on it, and I did managed instance, and it popped up this window. All right, so this instance, Feenics Federal Credit Union, has 4 out of 4 readers, 4 readers licensed and 4 are used, right? And you can go down the line and see how many cameras are here, etc. Right? Now, what's cool about this is I can add a feature right here. I'm gonna left click, add a feature, and I'll scroll down. And what I want to do is like I say, it's a Friday afternoon. I'm adding a couple of readers. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to do a drop down, and I'm going to say add a reader. How many? I'm going to say 2. I can put my purchase order number right there, boom, 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 and then save it, and you're good to go. You're good to move on from there, right? We'll invoice you, like I say, but that creates so much time efficiency for you. You don't have to stop doing what you're doing and wait for some other tech support guy in Canada to enable this for you. I really like this a lot, just the functionality to be able to do that. So having said that, I'm going to log into a demo site I have here. It's Cary Properties, and it's Cary Plaza Tower 1. I'm going to left click on it and say set my current instance. I'm going to get rid of that view. And so let me show you the navigation. What I'm doing here is I want to show you intuitively how easy it is, how simple, how it is to navigate within here. And you see I've got tabs across the top. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the first tab and work my way across. Oh, you know what? I'm going to open up my hardware tree too. So I'm at Cary Plaza Tower 1. I'm going to left click on this file cabinet here, and it's going to show me the status of all my hardware. Here's my controllers. I've got 2 controllers. They're online. My downstream boards, right? I've got a PIM here. I've got some 2-reader daughter boards, some single-reader daughter boards. I've got a gateway right there that's offline. I can see what's here. And then I've got OSDP readers. I can see the status of what these readers are, online, offline, unlocked status, and so on. So you see it's all right here. You can keep this open if you like, but I think it's pretty cool to be able to view that quickly with a click, with just clicking that up here. Continue on, some further navigation. You can see I'm in the access control tab. If I needed to add a new user, it's very simple, menu driven. I just left clicked on it on add a new user. Okay, and I'll scroll down. You see that we have photo ID badging. That's a licensable feature on the system here, right? Whether you upload a picture from your desktop or you have a webcam set up, this is where you take it. You capture it right in here. I'm scrolling down. You enter in your first name, your last name, you populate this as necessary. We've set up badge types. Badge types are like access levels, essentially, right? And so I've created badge types, and these are, I can do New York employees, for example. And if I needed to continue on, you see I'm just scrolling down right here. I can add some notes. I can do notes for the person, whatever, emergency contact information, any sort of health hazards, diabetic or something like that along those lines. I'm moving up to the right here. We have you can set your access levels right here as well. And these are just drop-down menus, right? I'm going to make it a cleaning crew. I've got cafeteria, milk delivery, elevator access, just hypotheticals that are sit here. We have intrusion users, and this is where we have an integration, a software integration with Bosch intrusion alarm systems. And so you can manage your Bosch systems through this platform similarly, right? Now, down at the bottom, I'm going to continue on. So stay with me here. I'm going to left click on card assignments, and this is where you'd assign your credential to the individual, right? I left click on the card assignment. Here's your display card number. If you do PIN, you can do that. Anti-passback, you can click on the boxes. Very straightforward. And this is smooth and quick. You know, it's not arduous by any stretch. The next tab over, you can do the badge preview. So you can import on your badge design, your company logo. You can do front and back, just like that. We have integrations with elevators on Kone, ThyssenKrupp, Otis, Mitsubishi, and that's destination dispatch if you happen to work in high rises. Visitor management is here too. Let me close this, and I'm going to cancel it and get out of this. I'll continue on, because you can do a batch upload. If you've got a list of users you need to import, and you can just do a batch upload. Here's this, upload a CSV you've got on your workspace. Just grab it right here and bring it in. Pretty straightforward stuff. Here's a cool part. I want to show you. I'm going to go, here's a list of all my users, but I'm going to continue clicking on. I'm going to go live monitoring for my access control system. These are events, card swipes, unlock schedules and stuff. I want to show you something that's really pretty impressive. I'm going to go to my favorites, and I'm going to open up launch a video player right now. And this is going to be a live view of our lab in Ottawa, Canada. So give it a moment, it's going to populate. Okay, so what you're looking at right now is our lab in Ottawa, Canada, at our headquarters. And you see 35 credentials that are suspended from a curtain rod. I'm going to send a command here in a moment. I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to send a pulse command. These credentials are going to slide across to the right, and you see the card readers opposite and then to the left. So I'm going to create a bunch of swipes right now. And what we're going to do is see how quickly this appears. I'm trying to get this position so we can see it best, because you can start seeing them slide down like this. So let me get this up and out of the way here. I'll do this. Okay, so I'm going to go to my favorites, and I'm going to go down Mercury slide pulse only. Okay, I'm left clicking on pulse right now. I just sent the command. Okay, it's responding like that, right? Is that cool as heck or what? And you can see sliding across. Look at all these events that are populating like instantaneously. That's how quickly the response is. And I mean, this technology is just, it's awe-inspiring, just because of I'm sitting here in Skokie, Illinois, sending a command through Amazon Web Services up to Ottawa, Canada, and it's like almost instantaneous. It's coming through and it's swiping and showing. That's pretty cool. That's really pretty impressive in my perspective. And you see, I've got some camera views too. And now this is integrations with video surveillance systems. So I've got a visual audit trail with this card swipe right here. Now, obviously, this is a demo. So if I double click on a camera, it's probably going to pull up a live view of the warehouse or something like that. But you get the concept of what we're doing. You see the guy's ID is going to pop up. And the camera would then, you can verify that Chris Smith was in fact the person that swiped in right there. So you have the ID right there next to the camera clip, but you get that part here. That's pretty cool right there. I think that's really one of the more impressive things that is part of the demo goes. But let me continue on. Visual verification, we just showed that there. You can import floor plans here too. So I'm going to click on this Dunder Mifflin, and that's just a map of an office here. And we've got devices that are laid in over that. We can control the devices. You can do the cameras, the card readers. This card reader is card only. If I left clicked on it and I put it in an unlock mode, you can see it changes status just like that. So if you're a man guard environment where you need to control the devices from this environment, it's easy to do as well. We do have 27 canned reports, which are typical access control reports, most commonly requested. You can pull those up like here, or you can schedule them too. So you can schedule these to report on a periodic basis every Monday morning and email them so they're in your inbox. So far, everyone's good so far?
Yeah, just a few comments on the Facebook group. Tom just said that he could have used this a long time ago instead of having disparate systems in every single location. It's he's actually saying wow in the comments section.
Right. That's certainly the wheelhouse of the strength of being cloud hosted, because you're not limited geographically. The geographic limitations are off the table altogether. Let me continue on. So I'm going to click to the next tab over. Again, the intent here is just to show the ease of navigation, the simplicity of getting around on here. Let me close these out down here. So I click the next tab over, and you can take a look. Let's dance through this a little bit. So your card formats, I'll click on this, and we can handle all the card formats that exist out there, the 37-bit, the 32-bit, 26-bit, et cetera, et cetera. We actually are on the APL for the federal government as well. So we can work in the federal gov environment as similarly. Add a card format is, again, everything's menu driven here. All you do is point and click and populate fields as you need, right? I'm going to, display name. What are you going to call the format? Whether it's mag stripe or standard Wiegand or OSDP for that matter. Look at all the drop downs I have right here. You can see, you just pull up all this information, save and close. Your schedules, and so you create your schedules and you apply those to doors or to access levels, and that enables the doors to unlock at certain times. You see there's a variety of access levels that are set up. You need to add a schedule, left click. All right. Now you can do something here too, one-off date. So if you have a non-recurring event that happens that doesn't repeat, obviously non-recurring, right? You've got a blood drive that's going to happen next Wednesday afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. or something like that. You can do a one-off date and choose that. So next Wednesday afternoon, I'm just going to choose the date, and I'm going to say blood drive. So, and I'm going to add the duration. I'm going to make it next Wednesday to be consistent, right? And I can choose 3 p.m. And that's a start date. And I'm going to choose the end. It was going to be, we'll make it 6 p.m. So I can save this then. So I save a schedule and I can apply it to the main entrance to the school, the gymnasium, whatever the case may be, for the blood drive that's going to take place 1 week hence. I love that because it's simple. That's historically that's been an issue. Non-recurring events, one-off events, and this is a simple way to accomplish it. Holidays, these all supersede the regular unlocked schedule. So because we're a Canadian company, we have holidays for both the United States as well as Canada, and there's state holidays even that are sprinkled in here. So we've got quite a menu of holidays that exist here that allow ease of use without having to hunt so much for us. Elevator access control. So whether you have a card reader that gains entry into the cab itself, or if you have a destination dispatch on floor select and such like that, we have the ability to do that. And you can see we've got Kone and listed right here. That's a little bit different integration on the Kone side, but as I said, we've got Otis, Mitsubishi, TK, the general config, and this is where you set up your priority defaults, and you can do color coding on prioritization of your card swipes and alarm conditions and things that come in like that. Administration, you can set up your users who has access to do administrative rights and limit what they can and cannot do, whether they're super administrators or maybe just a part-time employee that you just need them to add people and credentials. Here's your Ldap. So this is your Active Directory integration. If you needed to, you see there's 3 of them in here right now, but you can, if you needed to add more integrations, if there's multiple databases you need to do an integration with, you could do it from here. Single sign-on. Now this is, you see single sign-on tab is right here. It's not enabled for this instance, but this is where it would be to do that SAML 2.0 through Okta. So you can enable that so that creates efficiencies on your login credentials. Here's something that I like a lot. I'm going to go to hardware provisioning. All right. I'm going to open up that hardware status right here again. So we have, remember, we had 2 controllers that are online, some downstream boards, some card readers, etc. From an installation standpoint, this is really cool, folks, because if I need to add more controllers, I'm going to left click controllers, and you see I've got, again, comparing just to audit check here, I've got 2 controllers online. Here are the 2 right there. All right. I'm expanding the system hypothetically. I need to add a controller, left click, it drops down. Here's all your Mercury controllers. Isn't this cool, right? This is cool as heck right here. You don't have to hunt for it. You don't have to guess what it's called or translate our panel name for it versus Mercury stuff. It's all right here. So if I'm doing an LP 1501, for example, I'll left click on it, and suddenly I've got some fields to populate, right? What am I going to call this one? Whatever, I'm going to call this tool shed and back or something like that. But you can do, here's your MAC address, time zone. If you don't have your board yet, you could actually program this ahead of time and say disable control, excuse me, right here, so that you can set this all up ahead of time. And when that board ships and arrives, you populate the MAC address and bring it online. It's pretty cool. I like this a lot, where it's simple, right? If you do any end of line resistors on here, you populate the fields right here. It makes your life as an installation technician, as a business owner, as a provider of services of access control, so much easier when you have everything at your fingertips and it's very intuitive. It doesn't require an engineering degree to find your way through here. As I look across the hardware provisioning, right, you've got your downstream boards. Here's all the ones that I was just looking at over here. What's online, what's offline. And there's that gateway, right? This gateway here is offline for whatever reason. I don't need to worry about it right now. It's a demo site, but it's not hooked up at the moment. Here's more, if you needed to add more gateways, pretty simple stuff. Import devices. Here, let me go. Here's add a gateway. And that's a Schlage. This is Schlage on the NDE LA environment. Any more comments coming through on Facebook?
Don't see any more. I did have a couple just questions and remarks if you're ready for them.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so this is obviously a very highly configurable. It integrates with a lot of different platforms. I mean, it's a really robust system. So who is this for? Like, would you recommend it for somebody that's doing like one door and one reader, or like a couple doors, or is this more like enterprise? You know, maybe small, like, like larger
So
businesses.
it is enterprise. It can be school districts. It can be simple ones. But I want to switch screens again. I'm going to go to my thin client. So this is really the meat and potatoes of doing the setup, the functions, and I would say invariably you're gonna once this gets set up, you're pretty much not going to have to return here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing on this screen, and I'm going to share a screen, my thin client. All right, so this is a thin client. This is a browser base. This is where you can do about 80% of your day-to-day access control functions in a browser, right? I'm using Chrome right now. So this is my dashboard. And I've got some widgets that I have set up, obviously self-explanatory, reader status. Here's my favorites. I've got visitors. I don't have any visitors here, card use per day, but I'm going to click across here. So this is good for the day-to-day use of access control. I'm going to drop down, add a person, batch upload. Here's the people list, right? And I can take a look here, and I can search for a person, Ann Dull. There she is. And I can left click over here, and you see all the different actions I can choose for Ann Dull. I can deactivate her card, but I want to see where she's been. She's on a probationary employee. So I want to see where she's been swiping, for example, or what time she's swiping in at, just to try to keep an eye on what she's up to like this. But pretty simple, straightforward stuff there. You know, again, that live monitor where I was just at right here on the other screen. Floor status, which is elevators. And these are the readers that are on the cars themselves. If I clicked on that, I can change status. You've got a pretty simple navigation here. Your config, here's your card formats, your schedules, your holidays, your access levels. Visitor management, if you so desire, you have visitor management. So you can set up a visitor. So you've got Al Gore is coming in tomorrow to visit. You can set this up. Again, menu driven, make it all day. You can scan for IDs. Well, see, it's searching right now. I better stop that right now, but you get the idea. Hardware, again, like we are showing on the other screen right here, you've got some pretty simple stuff that we can do right here. There's the two boards, the two controllers are online, your downstreams, your gateway it's off. So it's all very seamless as far as carrying over from one environment to the next. You can do a lockdown. Here, let me go to my dashboard and do a lockdown. See, I just locked it down, do unlock. Now you can also obviously set up other means of locking down, whether it's a button activated, a wireless button, a hardwired, these types of things. But so I guess to answer your question is it's like, where is it appropriately fitting? It can fit in, like I say, I've got small deployments, 2 readers, simple, straightforward. But it also has school districts, multiple locations, right. Multiple disparate locations in particular.
Yeah. And so from this browser-based management console, can you set up an entire system through this console, or do you need the full-blown desktop installation?
You'd want to go to the Windows Evergreen app to do that, because
Evergreen app. Yeah.
Because like there's no video integration in the thin client.
Gotcha.
Okay. I like the robustness of the Windows environment. That appeals to me very much so, because I like to roll up my sleeves and get into that and to tweak things and get it set up. And then when my receptionist maybe comes in and his name's Fred, whatever, I say, here, Fred, you handle this stuff. This is your stuff. You handle it day to day. And then if I needed to ever do anything after that, but you've got the ability. Now you also have, you've got the smartphone too. So you've got the ability to do a significant functions on the smartphone too. I don't know how to share it on my screen right here in this environment. So you get the idea, Oh, but you know what? I want to show the whole crew that's out there something else here. Let me get out of this screen. Now, are you still looking at this Feenics knowledge base then?
Yep.
Okay, awesome.
Yep.
All right. So on our website, behind the curtain, we have what is called the Feenics knowledge base. You all can have access to this. You have to self-register to gain entry to this. But this Feenics knowledge base is everything Feenics. It gets you behind the curtain. And what I'm at the first screen right now, and you can see the most recent activity, the release notes. So we have release notes. We just had some. Oh, here you go. Here's the November release notes. I'm just clicking on this. You can see what's been done and it just was November 4th was a release, the enhancements, right? You've got enhancements of bug fixes. You've got a lot of information right there. But on top of this, I'm going to go back here. You can go to hardware, all your Mercury controllers. Let's see, I'm just clicking through this. And this is setting up Mercury controllers. We have tech talks every 2 weeks on Friday. These are recorded YouTube videos that are accessible to you right there. It walks you through the interface, right? This is 23 minutes in length, but they're short and to the point. You can search for, bear with me a second here. You can search for how to do a lot of things on the Tech Talks, right? Oh, here's OEM conversions. When you're converting an existing access control system, a Mercury base, it walks you through. So my video on YouTube that I just posted this morning was covering this right here. But you've got everything, all things Feenics right here on the Feenics knowledge base. And ping me. I can get you connected to this if you like. Send you the link to this. It's really a plethora of information.
Yeah, that's super useful. When I was in the field installing access control systems, it was mostly ProWatch. And actually, John Laurie is on the call right now. I just got him to click into the
there he is.
Yeah, I think he's driving right now, so he probably can't talk. But I would use John as my knowledge base because
right.
He was in the Slack workspace. If I was having a problem with ProWatch, I would try to figure it out with tech support. But if I couldn't get it working, I would call John. But these resources are very useful.
You're not dependent upon other humans to fulfill these for you, right? They're at your fingertips, and to give. I'm all for giving as much control as I can to folks in the field to make their lives easier, because we're all about being on the clock and maintaining efficiencies and profitabilities and the things that drive business. That's what I'm all about, and whatever I can do to make a happy customer, and my customers are going to be my value-added resellers as well as my end user, and our end user are shared customers. So it's all about creating efficiencies and making life as easy as possible while securing facilities and providing a safe environment for workers and overall people.
Yeah, one of the big takeaways from this was you mentioned the penetration testing. You do the hardware testing. So you have a lot of security controls in place from third parties. And then you outsource the infrastructure basically to Amazon Web Services. So coming from like an information security background, installing the hardware background, like that was huge, because we would go into a facility, install the hardware, open up a bunch of ports, and then it would be vulnerable for an attack. We have all these computers, that we just like, we got to make it work, and then making it work sometimes means cutting corners or not adhering to the security controls and best practices.
It's interesting you say that, because having been doing this for quite a long time, there was in my previous life, There was a customer, one of my partners in Indiana. They took over a school district because the previous vendor had left vulnerabilities on the network exposed on the video surveillance side, right? It was a VMS side, and they left the back door open, essentially, right?
Right.
And they got infiltrated, and they wound up having to replace hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of servers that was not part of their budget. And you talk about creating some ill will. My partner, they took over the account completely because they booted the other guys out, right? But I think though that's a really an important example of, what we're doing. I mean, there's a lot of nefarious characters out there in the world that can do harm to systems, and it's up to our level of diligence to ensure that we close down those opportunities, right?
Yeah, most hardware manufacturers are not putting security best practices like on the top of the priority list. For example, a casino was hacked with a ransomware attack through a fish tank that was connected to the internet. So you got to lock everything. So you got to be real mindful of who you're partnering with from an access control standpoint, and are they doing that? Are they hiring third parties to come in and penetrate, do penetration testing and risk assessment?
Wow, isn't that something through a fish tank? Huh?
Through a fish tank, yeah, fish tank pump.
Oh,
yeah.
It gives a whole nother reference to the sharks.
Yeah.
There's sharks out there.
Yeah. So that was a big takeaway for me, and also just how highly configurable it is. It's there's some systems that are very stripped down, very basic, easy to install for one-door implementations. Obviously, Feenics can do a one-door implementation, but what Mason Bortz told me is that he went with Feenics because he can configure it better than, I'm not going to mention competitors or anything like that, but
right, exactly.
Feenics because of how configurable it is. He has the business needs for his facilities that he's installing access control systems to have all these different configurations and schedules, and so it's very important to keep that in mind.
One of the things I made a note on the video I upload on LinkedIn today is right now we're dealing with supply chain issues across all industries everywhere. It's just problematic.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. We can't get control panels. We can't get card readers. It's 16 weeks out, right? We're talking well into 2022, power supplies, etc. What I've been promoting, as Feenics is a Mercury OEM, one of 25 OEMs that write to Mercury boards, I've been promoting, let's go after those on-premise client server architecture systems that are on Mercury hardware and convert them to the cloud.
Right.
All the hardware is installed. It's nothing more than swapping out, some programming and changing up the head end. That allows us to, as business people, to realize revenue now and not have to wait for hardware to ship. That's not what we're doing. We're a software company, so we don't have to worry about whether we have enough stuff on a shelf. We've got it on a shelf. We're ready to go. And so I can't say that enough, and that's why I'm putting it out there as assertively as I can. It's important for us when we're struggling with certain challenges that are unique to our world with the lockdown, the pandemic and stuff.
Yeah, I did a survey on Instagram. I said, are you impacted by the current supply chain issues? And I had over 100 people on Instagram alone just say, yes, we are. Like HID, they can't get readers. Their projects are on hold like until the end of next year, like $1 million.
I heard, I was talking to someone today. They said 16 weeks, right? That's 4 months, right?
Yeah.
That gets you into February or so, something, it gets crazy. And now, but you know what is happening though, Blake, is they're giving you these lead times, but then it's a moving target, right? All of a sudden, as it gets a little bit closer, it's like it moves out further and further, and you can't sell something that you don't have, right? And you can't build jobs. It really makes it a challenge on cash flow.
Yes, for sure. For sure. Cool. What else you got, Dan? Anything else you want to share with the group?
That's very much about it for today. I certainly appreciate the opportunity to speak to the greater Low Voltage Nation audience and talk about the benefits of Feenics and being in the cloud and what we're doing here. I certainly welcome any other follow-ups as if anyone else comes up with more questions on a down low, that's fine. You can access me. I'm, as I say, I'm based out of the Chicago metropolitan area physically, but doesn't really matter. I mean, we're all connected anyway, so it doesn't really matter, however you can communicate. I invite anyone to find me on LinkedIn, because I get I'm pretty active in that environment, so I welcome connections.
Yeah, LinkedIn's a great platform. I highly encourage to reach out to Dan or myself. We have a really thriving community there, I would say, but it's just really good place to share ideas and content. Lots of great conversations going on.
It certainly is absolutely necessary in 2021 to be embracing of that. It's necessary. It's necessary for business to do business and to reach folks.
Yep. So I'll publish this on YouTube and reach some more people, and I'll provide some links to your profile on LinkedIn, and yeah, we'll go from there, man. I really appreciate you coming on the hot seat.
Oh, this is fun. This is fun stuff, and I'm glad to talk about what we did and get some interaction and some feedback and stuff. So I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you, Dan. Have a good one.
All right.
Take care.
Be well, guys. Take care.